This is my MGB GT. It is the best car on the planet. I think it's amazing. Nothing else looks like it. Nothing else lasts like it. And this is why it was built so long and better than any MX-5. Trust me, it really is. Hiya folks, I'm going to take you through this afternoon of some of the beautiful restoration work I've done to my 1970s MGB GT. We'll be talking about the beautiful shape of the car and how it took me so long to get the panels to fit, the amount of rust I had to cut out from here all the way through here and refit metal into the body. This seam here I put in to make sure that water never got into it again, because this is a real rust trap here. The whole area here just above the hinge just rotted away to nothing. The water coming through the poor ceiling of the windscreen just meant that I had to put in extra time and effort. Again, the seal to the firewall had been reinforced. Stone guarding underneath here on the paint, although it was fitted originally to the factory, it didn't really work. And the bottoms of the wings and doors just rotted away to nothing. So this whole bottom quarter of the wing here I had to completely cut out and replace. As I come again to the front headlight again here, it just rotted all the way around the headlight. It wasn't the seal that actually is on the headlight was really shite. Now the chrome work here is all new from the MG Owners Club. Fantastic finish. It's a reproduction. It's not quite as good as the original, but it's almost there. And it does look the part. Although you can see there's a slightly difference in gap across the bonnet. The front valance. This was just nothing left. I just had to replace all of this. The only thing left was just the bumper holding on by the skin of its teeth. But now she's finished beautifully thanks to my fantastic craftsmanship. The outriggers, they're alright. Don't stand in front of them. They don't do what they're supposed to. They hit you in your leg, they will break it. The tyres, they cheap blacking round. That's all I can say about those. They look the part and that's it. They don't improve handling. The tyre walls are so high that it actually made the car oversteer, and if you didn't inflate them properly they would just flop off the rim. They was that shit. Today in production they would probably on a safety test they wouldn't even be allowed, but 40 years ago in the 1970s when the car was raised, everything ready for the rubber bumpers, they just put taller profile tyres on to get the ride out that was needed. along with jacking up suspension. Okay, so the coastline they put on here was to try to give the illusion that the car was sitting lower than it actually was. If you notice here, she's higher in the back end than the front. That was intentional, because at the factory they couldn't be bothered to get the arch heights at the right height. So we have in the cutaway higher in the front wheel arch, because compared to the rear, it gave the illusion that the car was actually right in level. As we look down now where the roof was joined to the Roadster bodywork on the GT, it took several attempts. Don Ater had a good go at it, a couple of other guys in the office had a good go at it, and in the end they just gave it to an Italian company and said, "Can you do this, boys? We can't do it. We tried everything. We produced millions of cars, thousands of designs, and between all of us, we couldn't scratch our asses if we tried." So they give it away, and I think they come back a few months later and they increased the rake of the windscreen by about 5 degrees, slapped the top on and said, "That'll do you boys." They said, "By Jove, he's done it." And that's how it went into production. The beautiful chrome work around here is just another rust trap. Same as the rear ridge on the back of the bumper. Your rear valance just rots away to nothing. Really does rot away to nothing. Or the whole panel here had to be replaced, the rear floor, etc. It just shocking the amount of rust traps on the design of this car. They never really thought of it when I was leveling the boot. All this floor has been replaced, all underneath the tank has been replaced, the outriggers, everything. As you can see, it's like brand new. This isn't how it left the factory. I can assure you that. This is better than when it left the factory. It took me at least 6 months to do, just the boot alone. And as you can see here, it's now looking fantastic. This is how it should have looked when I left the factory, but it never did. But thanks to clever men like me and you who restore these classics, do a better job than the incompetent buffoons on the production lines ever could. You can't blame the designers. The car was designed right from the start. It was amazing. It was just the sheer incompetence on the production line and the managers that really started to cock things up. These rear boot stays are aftermarket. They're an absolute pig to get hold of now. When you lift the tailgate up, it just locks it in place. No need for the extra hydraulic struts or nothing extra costs, or they just wear out. The same as the stainless exhaust. It's an essential upgrade. The aftermarket ones are generally like chocolate, and you start the engine up and after 12 months they just rot through and fall off. Go stainless. Same as the rear quarter here, it's another rust trap. Where the lights go on, rust trap. Really bad design, screws straight into the bodywork. What the hell was they thinking? Get some nice, super sticky silicone, get in a rubber seal and check it regular to make sure that you haven't got rust starting to come through the screw threads where it takes all the paint off, and the bad sealing gives you yet another rust trap. We're going to have a look at now the wheel arches on the rear. Again, this is another section I replaced and slightly resculptured the arches. Again, because I could see what a bad job British Leyland had done. Around the inside of the arch, just by here, there's a thick lip all the way around, and it catches all the crud and rust off the road. There's no lining protection, so what you get is all the mud collects here, and it just builds up and up and up and rots through from the inside. It rots the floor, it rots the panel, it rots the wing, the inner wing. Basically, it just destroys everything apart from the wheel. The wheels here are fantastic. They last forever. They look at paint and they're done. Okay, so we've looked around the bodywork I did on the outside and all the work which I've done on the inside. So now we're going to take it for a road test now, as you can appreciate the fantastic job I've done of all the suspension work and braking system and the rebuild on the engine. This really is a proper sports wagon. If anybody has to come out with a design like Fiat or something like that, it would have been absolutely shit. The handling is excellent for the size of the car. It really makes you feel you're part of the car. You can really throw it around. What you got to think is at the same time, Volkswagen was building the Golf and the Polo, a hot little hatchback which would take the world by storm. But there's the one thing they didn't have, which this had, was the ability to fall apart at every corner. But it wasn't for lack of trying. The quality was there. It just needed the assembly skills just to nail it together properly. We have a little zoom past now as you all hear my baby from outside on a little bit of handling. When you're driving the car, you really do feel part of it. You have fun with it. It's exciting. It doesn't grip too well. The noise isn't the quietest, but it all adds to the excitement of driving the MGB. It's something which you don't get in modern cars or front-wheel drive cars today. They grip amazing. They have super ride characteristics, but one thing they do not have is the rear-wheel drive fun of the MGB GT Roadster. As I leisurely take this corner now, you can feel the gentle roll in the body before she starts to bite. Coming through the woods here now, you can feel you're part of nature, at one with the world with this beautiful little car. My God, if I could marry one, I would. It is just so good. You wouldn't say this about any other car on the road in the world at the moment. They're all Euro boxes. They're just crap. But that's why I love my MGB. It's different. It stands out. There's millions on the road like it, but this one is mine. And as we come through this lovely, quiet little village now, I look to my left and I look to my right and I think, my God, what a beautiful, well-designed little car. Some of the improvements I made under the bonnet are many to bring this car to spec. She's had a reborn taken up to 1825cc. The twin SU carburetors have got K&N filters on, give her a little bit better breathing. The radiator, that's been upgraded to have an alloy core, all alloy radiator to improve the heating efficiency in this car, dissipating the heat in the summer. She's also had electronic timing ignition fitted. This will improve my fuel efficiency and bring the car more up to date and make it much more enjoyable, as originally intended by Don Hayter and the rest of the guys.
Es gibt einen Film zur Restaurierung dieses Fahrzeugs, den verlinke ich einfach im Bemerkungsfeld unten. Wenn Sie daran denken, einen B als GT oder als Cabrio, wie auch immer, zu kaufen, Das ist der Limora Katalog für den B. Das Ding ist sehr umfangreich und dient halt nicht nur zur Zuordnung von welches Teil ist kaputt, sondern es hilft auch bei welches Teil fehlt und wie gehört der Kram eigentlich zusammen. Schönen Dank, wir freuen uns über Ihr Like, ganz besonders freuen wir uns, wenn Sie nächste Woche wieder mit dabei sind. Danke, tschüss.